Well, I ain't got a lot of wisdom to start with, so
You just
but
threw out the ball.
I can be,
You
I can
just
be a
told
funny bugger.
you just told me the bull the lead I can't even say it.
Balls off
The
a brass monkey.
balls balls of a brass monkey. Yes, you just told me that history that there is wisdom in there. So
Well, there's a little bit somewhere.
yeah, somewhere.
You got to go deep for it, though.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to 1000 Crazy Questions, the podcast. I'm your currently sane host, Houston Pierce. This is a podcast where I have at least one guest a week and ask them a series of crazy would you rather questions. We get to the psyche of our guests, explore topics and questions that maybe shouldn't have been explored. Take my questions from the listener from a list of 1000 questions. You can submit question suggestions at 1kcrazyquestions@gmail.com or at 1000 Crazy Questions on Instagram. That's 1000 on Instagram. And yeah, hit me up on there. It's the best place to leave comments, submit things. Please rate and follow 1000 Crazy Questions on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, Spotify, and wherever else your podcasts are found. More about Podchaser than the show. That's specifically a good one that I like to go to. And that is it. That's the intro. Let's get into the episode this week. This week we have with us the awesome podcast host, motorbike riding, storyteller, world traveler, Lord Tim Heale. Tim, if you want to introduce yourself to listeners a bit and explain, just let them know who you are.
Well, thank you so much for having me on the show, Houston. My name's Lord Tim Heale. I'm a knight of the realm, uh, bestowed
It's
upon me by
cool.
the Queen, a few shekels. Um, yeah, I've been around for a long time. I started life out way back in 1758. I'm 266 years old. I've seen a huge amount in my life. I've been a soldier in the British Army. I ride motorbikes. I'm still riding motorbikes. I mean, it's a little bit harder nowadays. I've been a telemark skier for the Army, up against the Navy and the Royal Marines. I've sailed. I'm a big sailor. I've sailed around the UK. Sailed around the Scandinavia, the Baltic, Sweden, Denmark, Norway. Had a great time. I have a Archie the ship's cat. He's very famous. When we were sailing around the UK, he got saved from the waves apparently by the Royal National Lifeboat Institute. Quick story on that one. We were
Mm-hmm.
sailing around the UK. We were coming on the last leg from Inverness round to Gosport. We were going to do it in one hit. 300 miles in, we picked up a line of lobster pots that stopped the boat. So I called it into the Coast Guard to let them know because we were just off the shipping lane. And they said, "Oh, we'll send out a lifeboat." So they sent out a lifeboat with big lights on and everything. And
Oh,
one of the guys jumped onto the boat, saw the cat in his lifeboat, in his life jacket, and and the story unfolded from there. So he got, I think it was about an 8-page spread in their annual book.
wow. Okay, wait. Okay, so
I
question,
slept through
question.
most of it, mind.
Wait. So he got into the lifeboat and the cat jumped into the lifeboat, or the cat
Oh,
was,
no, no. The guy on the lifeboat jumped onto our boat.
uh-huh.
Yeah. And he said, "Hi, I'm Paul. Uh, tea, 2 sugars, please." Oh, a cat in a life jacket. Well, we have to. It's the law. You have to wear your life jacket, especially at night. And yeah, and the story unfolded around Artie being rescued from the uh, for this night. I mean, it took us about 7 hours to get clear of it, which ended our sort of trip. We ended up having to go into another port about 60 miles further south, and we were stuck in there for a week waiting for another weather window. But yeah, Artie was famous. We got on the local radio and the local television all about the cat, not us, about the cat.
That's how it is. That's a cool story. No, animals always take the
Yeah.
spotlight for whatever they're doing, but man, they're cute. It just deserve it. How'd you get into podcasting with such a I can't think of a better word, robust past history? Like what
Well,
got you into talking?
it started sort of just as we got into lockdown.
Hmm.
Um, I was drinking far too much spiced rum, and I'm thinking, if this carries on, it's not going to be good for me health.
Hmm.
So I thought, well, what do I do? What about start a podcast? So I started a podcast, and I did 24 half an hour episodes of my life.
Oh,
So if you've got any of your listeners out there that suffer from insomnia, stick one of those on, boom, within
wow.
seconds you're out. Um,
That's a compliment. That's a compliment to your craft. Not everyone can say that. Some people don't have relaxing voices, and 24-hour content is hard to record. And the fact that you have that much to draw from is actually a statement. So I know you're being a bit cheeky with that, but that's actually a really good. That's cool that people can.
but
That's a
well,
lot.
I got to the end of that, and I thought, well, what do I do now? We're still in lockdown. So I did another 3 or 4 episodes where I went a little bit more in depth into some of the stuff that I'd done.
Hmm.
Um, and then I got to the end of that. I think, what do I do next? What about doing other people? So I started doing other people, and yeah, I've done, I don't know, close on 400 other people to get their life stories, and yeah, that's how I got into podcasting in the first place.
Man, no, that's cool.
I
All
still
right,
drink a
yeah.
lot of spiced rum, mind.
Yeah, you don't have to stop that. Oh man. Hey Tim, I gotta tell the listeners about what the rules are and yeah, here are the rules of the game. There are two rules to this game slash conversation. Rule number one, you must always answer the question no matter what. If you have no preference towards one or the other, you say the phrase flip a coin, meaning that each choice is 50-50 to you and that one is neither worse or better than the other. But that rarely happens, so it may not get used. Rule number two, whoever asks the question doesn't have to answer it if they choose not to. These rules exist because as the questions become harder to answer, the rules become harder to follow. This episode will be a red band episode, so if you're a child with sensitive ears and you don't want to hear anything that may be spoken, you may want to turn this off now. Otherwise, keep listening. This episode may not be the most family friendly. It just may not. I don't know. Stick around. It may not. Who knows? And Tim, if you have any questions for me, I just want to remind you this is a conversation. You could change up the question I asked and put it, turn it back on me, and we don't. This is a 1-2 thing. Yeah, what else? Quick one form disclaimer to the listeners. Everything's hypothetical. If you are offended by this episode, at me. Probably won't answer, but you can at me. It's fine. Everything's I say it every week, but it's true. And lastly, before we begin, Tim, is there anything you would like to ask or declare, or do you have any inherent slash mental biases you think you may that you may have?
Well, hopefully your audience isn't too woke because I come from a generation that don't do woke.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
if you're of a sensitive nature and you're one of the woke brigade, the left waffer, um, now's probably the time not to not to listen to this episode.
that's a
Uh,
great warning. That's a
yeah,
really
yeah. I
great.
mean, I don't do wokeness at all.
Mhm.
I mean,
Got it.
the climate change and all that. The climate changes. It does it all by itself. It doesn't need people to do
We
it
don't.
for it.
I don't. The way I run my podcast, I tend not to really, I don't shy away from, nor do I dive into wokeness, politics, or anything like that. It's kind of just in the background of whoever I'm
Yeah,
talking to.
we can stay away from politics.
Yeah, if it seeps its way in, okay, I guess we'll go there. But it's like, oh well, it
Yeah,
fades in and out. Yeah, depends on who I'm talking to. But phew, all right, that's a great though. Thing to say up front because sometimes I ask people that question, they're like, I don't know, I have zero biases. You're like, I know I can talk about anything, and then you mention something like, well, hold on, and that's a really useful, funny, good one. Anyway, I'll get on to the episode, but that's good.
yeah. Let's do it. Let's get
Yeah.
in there.
Would you rather? This one I have to explain a little bit. Have you seen the movie Groundhog's Day with Bill Murray?
Groundhog Day. God, that was a long time ago. Yeah,
Yeah, but do you remember the
going into
concept?
lockdown was a bit like Groundhog Day.
Yeah, but you remember the concept with he was waking up every day and reliving it.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
same shit, different day.
yep. Would you rather have a sort of a groundhog life where you live your whole life over and over again, like you live to the age you're gonna die, uh, who knows when, and then you wake up as a baby. Some of your memories as an adult come along later on, but you're living the same life over and over, not the same day. Would you rather have that be the case? Or would you rather just live forever, live out all of humanity, and see the sun explode and eventually die when the earth gets eaten up by the sun? And to clarify, you can still get hurt in this world where you're immortal, and you've essentially stopped aging where you are now. So you can still get hurt, and but you look the same, and you've just stopped aging.
Oh, I'll go for that.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've had a fantastic life. I have had an awesome life. So I've done some stuff that people just wouldn't believe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean, I would live my life over again. One or two things I'd change, but
Mm-hmm.
if I could live forever, looking like as gorgeous as I am, and outlive humanity, yeah, I think I could have an awful lot more fun.
Wow, that's a
Well, I
confident
live in pain
answer.
anyway, so the pain that's just get on with pain. Just pop a few pills, and that takes some of the pain away, but it's always there.
Got it.
I can tell
Wow.
you about that.
I love your answer, but I gotta ask. So, if you live outliving everyone, would you get lonely eventually? When if there was ever an apocalypse scenario, or we eventually do pull the nuclear button, or there's a zombie outbreak, who knows what, whatever, and you outlive everyone, you ever gonna look back and be sad of just being the only person left because you have thousands of years ahead where everyone else is gone? Does that bother you, being alone?
Not really. I'm comfortable with my own company, and I'm equally as happy in company. So if I'm the only one left, then I'm comfortable in my own skin to be able to live that out until I eventually sort of get burned up by the sun.
That's so far away though. That's millions. Like, but like that's
Could
it's
well be.
just you. It's just you. Well, all right, but man, that's a confident freaking answer. Personally, I I think I might have to go with the first option. I don't know if I can do too well being alone for that long. Not that I'm the most people person, I'm not really, but I also know I might go insane. Maybe I don't know, I have more life to live and my life still, it's still going. I still don't know
Yeah,
if I,
I have a theory on life,
Mhm.
and that's live every day as though it's your last, because one day it's going to be. And the
That's
last thing you want to do is when you get to the pearly gates and old Pete's there, is to turn up and have some regrets that you hadn't done something.
no,
So take every day as though it's going to be your last, and just do it. If an opportunity for something comes along, go and do it, because you don't want to regret not doing it when
yeah,
it's too late.
no, no,
There you
that's
go.
true. True advice, true advice. All right. Would you rather have, oh, this one's kind of goofy, have arms that turn into swords and they're always sharp, or have a gun for an eye, a 16 millimeter, and you need to eat the bullets to reload and keep that gun loaded.
Oh,
There
that's
you
a
go.
weird question, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, the trouble with having swords for hands
Mm-hmm.
is if you want to go and have a masturbation, a wank, you could do some damage.
Let me clarify. Is they turn into swords, so they're not always swords. You can
Yeah, I know,
you control
but if
this.
but if you're having a wank and they turn into a sword, you can do yourself some serious damage.
Yeah, yeah, of course. You could snip something off, or if you're touching anyone else, that's
Well,
also
yeah,
bad.
yeah.
Yeah, it is
You
anyway. Yeah,
start caressing the young lady, and all of a
yeah.
sudden you
Oh,
stabbed her.
oh. Do you have insurance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a big thing in America, isn't it? You have to have insurance for everything because
Oh, yes.
everybody wants to legislate against you,
Yeah.
take you to court for the simplest things.
Yeah. Very. what's the word? Oh, litigious. There, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah. We
that's
can't
kind
do
of
anything with
creeping
it.
in here a little bit, but
I
yeah, I
hear.
think we try and stay away from it.
Yeah, you can look at us and be like, yeah, we don't want that. I mean,
Don't need it.
yeah, I know it's perfect nowhere, but ooh, it's something over here. But yeah, swords the thing is, they're always sharp. There's a use for it, and the gun for an eye thing. Again, you can
There
control
is.
it. There, you can control. These are both. What I'm asking here is, what is your weapon of choice? I think. 'Cause-
Oh, a gun
Yeah,
every time. Yeah, a
gun.
gun will beat a sword.
I think a sword is. This is just me. I think a sword is more intimidating because a sword is very personal. It's very. You have to be close to someone. I don't know. Something
Mm,
about the blade to skin is slightly more
yeah,
intimidating than the gun to me. Just that's
it's a
my
bit like having
opinion.
a bayonet on the end of your rifle, isn't it?
Hmm.
Yeah, close quarter
Yeah.
combat, and you have to stick a bayonet in somebody. Yeah, it takes some doing, I can tell you.
Ooh. If you want, do you want to? Did you ever go to like a post-traumatic stress type of therapy thing afterwards? I know that's required for a lot of our troops in the modern day. Was that
Yeah,
ever a thing?
I can tell you a bit about that. I did 44 years in the British Army.
Hmm.
I've done countless tours, operational tours. My last bunch of tours was I did two tours in Kosovo. I did Macedonia when 9/11 happened.
Mm.
5 months later, I went to Kabul in Afghanistan. Then I did an Iraq tour, and then I did two further tours of Afghanistan in Helmand province. I've seen an awful lot of action in that sort of time. And when I came back out of that, my last tour was in 2009. My next job was as a welfare officer for London Central Garrison, looking after the Queen's Guard. I had to go
Mm.
and do the courses. We call it TRIM, which is Trauma Incident Management, and that's for guys that have seen traumatic incidents, and there's
Mm.
a whole process that you go through for that. Back in when I was a young soldier, that wasn't even a thing.
Mm.
So yes, I have a little bit of PTSD. I'll get it under control. I know where it is. It's stuck in its box, and occasionally it rears its ugly head. Occasionally, but yeah, um, I think
Yeah.
everybody, it doesn't matter who they are, has suffered some sort of trauma in their life. They've seen something that doesn't agree with them, or that does affect them, and that lots of people carry stuff from their childhood. Something in their childhood is a traumatic incident for them, and they've carried that all their lives.
Mm.
Other people see a car accident, and that can be something. So there's
Yeah.
most everybody has some sort of trauma.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I agree with you too. It's relative to who people are and what they've seen. I think I don't know where, but I think my parents told me this when I was little, but it was about pain and how someone for example, like if there's some teenager in Beverly Hills, a really rich county in California in America, which you may already know that, but whatever. For the people who don't, like let's say they're really rich and they don't get a car for their sweet 16 birthday and they're devastated. That can hurt as much as someone getting someone like in let's say same LA but Compton, a bad part of LA, more
Mm.
dangerous place. Their brother gets shot, and they're devastated. You can't really go up to either person and say one's pain is greater than the other because the person in Beverly Hills, as silly as that seems, if that's all they know, and
Yeah,
if that's how they were raised, and that's literally like if their world, if that's their bubble, and their
yeah,
tolerance for pain is that small, and they're that devastated, you can't really walk up to that person and say it's not warranted or that they're not entitled to being sad, despite what the situation is. And
yeah,
like, of course, there's caveats to that, but yeah, that's so I can't really, yeah, you can't really say what pain means to different
yeah.
people. Everyone has different tolerances, and yeah,
That's it. I mean, everybody has some sort of trauma in their life, and it's just how you deal with it.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, for me, the one thing that kicks it off for me is the smell of a sort of decaying body. Um,
Oof.
yeah, that sets off some horrible nightmares. But
Yeah.
I know, so I deal with it.
Yeah. Keep the box closed. Sorry.
Yeah, stick it back
Um,
in his box. Doesn't
yeah,
belong there.
it'll be fine. This next question, this one's this one's a bit racier. This is one of the ones I that I kind of I put the warning on for people, but I'm gonna ask it. Would you rather have to suck a member of a man each time you hear the word papaya and it is said out loud? You must find one immediately within 3 minutes and start um, fellatioing, sucking one, or else you will explode. Or the other option, um, pee your pants every time the word love is said out loud. And it doesn't matter who said it, if you hear it, you pee.
I think I'll go for the P option actually.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I
Okay.
got. Don't get me wrong. I mean, each to their own. I
Hmm.
mean, if somebody wants to go down that LGBT XYWZ plus whatever
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the boots, it's not for me.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, that's why that's why it's here. It's like these are not
Yeah.
favorable. Well, at least if you're on
Well,
this
I mean,
other
occasionally I
side,
do
but
pee
yeah.
my pants. I've got a weak prostate, and that catches you out occasionally. So yeah, I can go with that option.
The thinking with this one was, love is a very common word. It's said in film, it's said
Yeah, I know.
flippantly, it's said all the time. So I don't know what your life looks like with the
Yeah,
word love being a trigger.
yeah. Well, papaya could be a trigger as well.
It could, but no one says papaya. I mean, how often
Not
have you
very
heard that?
often.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exact. That's the thing is like you could pick the
yeah,
other and just stay away from fruit stands and
yeah.
live a normal until one day when you're around
Somebody
your
says it,
family.
and then I explode.
Nice. You feel the clock ring down, you just like,
Yeah.
yeah, you
Okay,
just look
I'll
at your clock.
explode.
Well, hey, it was great spending time with you. I loved you all. And yeah. All right, yeah. Let the clock run down. That's a great answer. I'm gonna
So
I'm
where are we
gonna
going
let
there?
I'm gonna elect not to answer. I don't want to die yet, but I also don't want to piss my pants forever, so I don't know.
It's fine. It's not a problem. Now you can get these tenner pants. Soaks it up.
Yeah, I guess diapers, adult diapers, I guess.
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, all right, next one. This one's a question. This one's open-ended. How long do you think it would take you personally, if you didn't have to worry about death or money, really, for you to build a fully functional spaceship? How long in years do you think it would take you alone to get that job done?
Cool. Probably forever. I'm I'm basically an infantry soldier, and I've been trained to kill people and break things. When I break things, I find an engineer to put them back together.
Mm.
So, so for me to build something, I'm a bit of a bodger. If I take
The-
something apart and put it back together, there's
uh,
always bits left over, and it generally doesn't work again.
I can say as an engineer, that's true. It's always an issue when you have leftover parts and you're like, well, what was this
Yeah.
doing in there? I mean, but then
Where
you're
did
like,
that go?
like I put it back. What was this doing? But like that means you probably messed up somewhere. It's better if you're deconstructing something. But yeah, yeah, I don't know. Like, because
Yeah.
something a car is good for that. Cars are good to deconstruct and put back together. I haven't fully done that to a car. I don't even have a car to like freely take. I'm not doing that to mine. I'm not taking it apart. I
Well,
never had.
I've got
Yeah.
this old BSA Bantam um,
Mhm.
from 1961, and I've had that apart a few times and put it back together again. In fact, I've just been rebuilding the clutch on it today. I had to put a new kickstart return spring in it because I broke the last one trying to put it back together.
Okay, you're handy. It sounds like you can put
Yeah, I
a
know.
spaceship
And
together.
and it and I rode it round the block.
You sound you're capable. If that's all you need, you can do a spaceship. I'm sure. Yeah. Like
You
so.
give us the blueprints and the materials to do it. I
Yeah.
suppose I could.
Yeah. Let's say
Not
someone
sure
gives you
where.
you get the blueprints, you get the money, you get the space. It's just you, but you're able. Like let's say if someone gave you 100,000 years to do it, would you be like,
Oh,
okay,
yeah, I'll be able to do it in that time. I'm sure.
okay? I think they're gonna get
I'm
to
not too
year.
old to learn.
Is it gonna get to year like 999? You're like, oh, wait a minute, okay, I gotta get up.
Oh,
Or
bugger! I've
would you
left
put it
that bit
off?
out.
Would you
It'd
get
probably
forgive
be
the
it'll be
last 10
taken
years?
apart so many times and put back together again.
Oh man. Yeah, I think that one's just yeah, I'm just curious. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's an impossible task, and if you were doing by your own, just wonder what would happen.
Well, there's
Yeah,
so many different systems to it, isn't it? So
yeah,
you've got the electronics, you've got the 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 the, the mechanical bits, and then you've got the rocket side of it,
yeah. The fuel, the
the
computer.
rocket science.
It's literal rocket science. Yeah, that'd be
Then you've got
yeah.
the 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 oxygen side of it. You've got to work out getting the right amount of oxygen. You don't want too much oxygen, but you need to mix it with other stuff. And
Yeah.
there's a lot to think about.
Maybe it's just me and my nerd side coming out, but I really want to see a show or a movie that explores a person, an average intelligence person, going about that task of putting a rocket or something of equal complexity together and seeing how long
Yeah,
that feasibly takes, because we can't do most everything possible that we do as humans is very collective. I don't know. Even our smartest people, if we threw them that project, being our best computer programmers can't figure out the mechanical part, our best electricians can't figure out the rocket science part. It's just yeah, our mathematicians
yeah,
can't lift up a metal pipe to save her life. I don't know. Just I would be fascinated to see a sped up version of that, seeing someone struggle for
yeah. I think time
years.
lapse was definitely coming.
Yeah. All right. This next one is hypothetical scenario, so stay with me here. You are cursed, and now you're very sick. You and a loved one, or your loved one. I don't know if you have a wife or not, but let's just say a loved one
Yeah,
is in a
yeah.
coma.
I'm
Uh,
married,
okay, cool.
woman.
Well, congrats. Yeah, the last couple questions gave me that answer. You both have a 50-50 chance of dying before the week ends, but you are given a potion from a very trustworthy elf doctor who tells you that the potion will cure your loved one or you, but it will make them immortal. So whoever drinks this potion will make that person immortal. There's only enough potion for one of you. Who, if either of you are going to take that potion?
Oh well, she doesn't want to live forever.
Okay, okay.
When she gets old and infirm, she wants me to lean on her with a pillow. So I
Hmm.
guess I'll have to take it.
Do you think I know
Going back to that last question.
I know she's not here to answer this, but but do you think she'll be okay? Because she is dying within the week unless she takes this. Do you think you
That's
no?
all right. Yeah, we've had that conversation.
Mm,
She's even planned out her funeral.
wow. Okay. All right, that's actually pretty responsible. Uh yeah, but okay. Okay.
Yeah,
No,
so one
well, yeah,
question, that's easy enough.
got it, yeah. And the other question, yeah, you're fine with being alone and seeing
Yeah,
everyone else die and yeah. Okay.
yeah, Benjamin Button in it. Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Benjamin Button?
Benjamin Button is the one who he
Yeah,
ages
just
backwards. Yeah.
yeah, we lived his life backwards. Yeah, that
Yeah.
wouldn't be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I purposely haven't watched that movie. It's supposed to be a sad one, and I don't care for the sappiness of it because there's a girl who he loves, and they meet in the
Mm,
middle of age and whatever. Also, to see an old person being born is disturbing. Like that when he's born, he's ancient, and it's like, oh, it's
yeah.
ugh. Anyway, anyway. Then he dies a
Moving
baby.
swiftly on.
Anyway, uh, would you rather constantly make suicidal, racist, fat, homophobic, dark, whatever, anything socially taboo, awkward, or bad, disturbing jokes, and you can't make any other type of joke. This is your sense of humor from now and forever on, or only speak in riddles.
Oh, blimey. The speaking riddles to start with.
You do?
Yeah, lots of
Yeah.
people don't understand what I'm on about half the time.
I'll be honest, sometimes, especially when you were your story in the beginning, it was like I can, it's English. I speak English, but sometimes it gets tough. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it's like, oh, what was that? What does that word
Well, of
mean?
course, I speak the Queen's English, now the King's English, because I'm English.
Hmm.
And and
I speak laid
and
back English.
you Americans ruined our language.
Uh-huh. Sure we did. I think we say we
I
speak
mean, we have a pavement.
common,
And
huh?
why can't you call it a pavement? It's not a sidewalk, it's a pavement.
Sidewalk? Oh, we could say we say sidewalk. We don't. I mean, you
Yeah,
can say pavement.
it's a
You
pavement.
Yeah. You say pavement
Yeah,
normally? I
yeah,
said we say sidewalk. Yeah.
yeah. See,
Yeah. Nope. Yeah, it's
doesn't work
different.
over here.
This when we say garage, I heard that's the fancy way because we just say garage, but isn't it garage or is garage the fancy
Oh, we
way?
yeah, we've got two garages, but we call them the toy sheds.
You call the place where you keep the car, you call it the tool set, the tool shed,
No, toy shed.
toy shed.
Yeah, you
Okay.
know what a shed is.
Yeah.
You
You
know what
keep the
toys are.
toy in
We've
there.
got a toy shed. So I've got all my toys.
I
I've got
guess
skis in there. I've got motorbikes in there. I've got golf bats in there.
we
I've
just
got all
we just
sorts in there.
you got
Got
gold bats in
climbing
there.
gear.
Wait,
Yeah,
pause. You have gold bats in there?
yeah, golf. You know,
Oh, golf. Sorry. I thought you said
yeah,
gold bats. I'm sorry.
no,
That's
golf bats, golf
gotcha.
clubs. Yeah,
Gotcha. I
used
thought
to play a bit
okay.
of golf.
Hmm. Nice.
Um, yeah, I've done all sorts. Done a bit of climbing, bit of abseiling,
Hmm.
sailing, lots of
Man.
sailing gear.
What's something
Lots of
that you
motorbikes.
what's something that you wouldn't do? I'm curious. What's an activity that would you say no to? Because you seem very down for anything. Would you jump out of a plane or go spelunking?
I wouldn't do it again. No,
Oof.
I've,
There it is.
I've done it. It's a not a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
Yeah.
Well, the people I did it with took the fun out of it, basically.
I can imagine a scenario where maybe jumping out of a plane in your tours wasn't too fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I used to be a hang gliding instructor,
Oh,
so I used to
okay.
teach hang gliding to soldiers.
Well, that's
Um,
fun. Well, I
I
guess
did
not.
that for a few years. So when you're a hang glider pilot, you don't want to be jumping out of aeroplanes.
Mhm. Would you go cave diving?
Yeah, I've done caving back in the early days. I'm not sure I'd go caving nowadays. This old carcass of mine is a bit buggered. I've worn it out. It's
Hmm.
it's underneath its gorgeous exterior. There's an
Hmm.
absolute train wreck going on.
I don't really buy it, but okay. This is an audio podcast right now. I think I might might release the visual later, but no, for anyone seeing this man right now, currently, who's sitting in front of me, no, he's not that withered. No, he
It is gorgeous.
no, he could spring up and hurt someone. I see it. Um, if you only spoke in riddles, do you do a lot of riddles? Do you have any? I don't know. But just if you had to throw one out now, do you got a riddle or
Have I got a riddle?
yeah.
Just have a think about that. I probably have actually. Now,
Hmm.
do you know the meaning of to freeze the balls off a brass monkey?
Oh wow. I would imagine that's probably like a metaphor for being really, really cold. Am I off?
That is cold. That is being cold. Now it comes from back in the sort of late 17, early 1800s, with the cannons on ships, on warships. They have a brass plate and they put the lead balls on it and they stack them up on these brass plates. And when it gets cold, the brass shrinks, the lead stays the same shot, and the, the brass plate's called a monkey. And the
Hmm.
balls, the cannonballs, are made of lead. So the brass monkey free, shrinks and
Hmm.
the balls falls off of it. So that's where the saying comes: freeze the balls off a brass monkey.
Wow. Okay. Why would they set the lead on the brass if it's going to shrink? Do they expect and want the lead to eventually fall off?
No, no, it's just a way of keeping the balls in place. They stack them up into a sort of a pyramid shape.
Got
But when the brass shrinks, the balls fall off.
they stop using brass, but that's no, okay, that I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a little riddle.
Okay, okay.
So freeze the balls off a brass monkey.
Well, I learned something. And I think everyone else learned something too with that one. All right, cool. Next question here. Would you rather be the funniest person in the world or be the wisest person, yeah, in the world? And with if you pick the wise one, then you lose all your funny. If you pick the funny one, you kind of lose a lot of all your wisdom.
Well, I ain't got a lot of wisdom to start with, so
You just
but
threw out the ball.
I can be
You
I can
just
be a
told
funny bugger.
you just told me the bull the lead I can't even say it.
Balls off
The
a brass monkey.
balls balls of a brass monkey. Yes, you just told me that history that there is wisdom in there. So
Well, there's a little bit somewhere.
yeah,
You
somewhere.
got to go deep for it, though.
Yeah. Would you rather chuck all that away for the sake of being funny, or be the funniest person, and vice versa?
Well, it's difficult because I'm just naturally funny anyway, and I'm a clever bugger. Can I have 50-50 on that?
That defeats the
Stay
pur
a clever bugger and be funny with it.
that defeats the purpose. But good on you
Yeah,
for
I know.
asking. There you go.
Well, if you don't ask, you don't want, do you?
Yeah, yeah. Oh man. So you're picking funny?
Oh, I guess I'll go. I'll stick with funny because, yeah, nobody wants a clever dick around all the time, do they?
Oh man, that's funny. I mean, I agree. I picked the same one as you if I had to pick this one. It's just funnier to be funny, making people laugh, making yourself laugh. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Some
it's
people,
you can take life far too seriously at times, and there's a lot of those that take life far too seriously.
hmm, yeah. Would you? But what about teaching others? I know some people really love doing that. Some people are really into teaching others and passing on what they know. It's not really my thing. I mean, I need to know more, but do you get any enjoyment from telling others your stories, your experiences, or, lessons learned? Does that bring you any, type of comfort,
Oh yeah,
joy?
I mean, I was an instructor in the military for a long time, so
Yeah.
yeah, I passed on a lot of knowledge over the years to a lot of people, um, and had fun while I was doing it as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So you are gonna miss that, but you just want to,
Yeah,
yeah, you'd rather be funny. Yeah.
but I'm going to be by myself most of the time anyway. I
Yeah.
might as well keep myself amused.
Yeah. You're gonna be alone at the end of the world watching the sun blow up. You gotta be funny
Yeah,
to someone.
you can't take that too seriously for a start, can you?
Yeah. Okay, we've somehow we've done all of these. This is the very last question here. Take this
Hmm.
anywhere you want to. What is your ideal last meal?
I'm quite partial to lamb shank. I think
Okay,
lamb shank,
okay,
mashed tater, and garden peas.
okay. how is lamb shank prepared? I'm not really familiar with the dish. I
Oh,
guess like,
that's now it's slow cooked in red wine.
okay.
So you've got a red wine jus, it's, and
Yeah.
it's slow cooked.
Yeah.
So it's comes out and it just falls off the bone.
Well, that's pretty nice.
Yeah,
Are you cooking it in what a Pinot
slow
Noir
cooker.
or maybe a
No,
what type of
stick
wine?
it
Maybe what type of wine
s-
though? I mean, maybe a Syrah or oh, what's the other
yeah,
one?
I guess a Merlot would be good for it, or a
Yeah.
Rioja.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a great lover of Shiraz, if I'm honest. But
Okay.
yeah, you put it in a slow cooker and bosh in the wine, stick in some onions, bit of garlic, and uh, and just slow cook it for several hours, and then take it out, and it just falls off the bones. Gorgeous.
That sounds delicious. Are you a big cook?
I can cook. I'm not a bad cook, but I'm what they call uh, a Victorian dad.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Okay.
have I have a terrific wife who's a terrific cook, and she loves doing it. So I don't get in her way.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
I
Let's
stay
say,
out the way. I just eat the what she produces.
yeah, you break things and she
Yeah.
cooks things.
So
Yeah.
tonight we've got a fish pie followed by a
Mm.
tiramisu.
Ooh, tiramisu's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
What comes with
She
dessert
makes it
for
she makes it herself and we end up getting pissed. She puts too much booze in it.
Does it still taste good with it?
Oh, it's gorgeous. Yeah. I mean, she's a
Nice.
terrific cook.
Hmm.
She is a terrific cook.
Nice. Okay, two questions for that. Like, what's the last drink and what's the last dessert then? But to go with this last meal.
Phew. Now, my favourite wine is a Bordeaux and it's a Pauillac. Um, and that's like a vintage um, claret. And that
Mm.
is, yeah. And it's
Okay.
quite expensive as well.
If you're going out, you might, yeah, if you're gonna
Yeah.
die, you know, as
So
well. Yeah.
that's my favourite wine.
Hmm.
Um, I drink an awful lot of spiced rum,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
at the moment I'm on Kraken roast coffee and Kraken black cherry.
Is Kraken, is that a
Kraken,
brand?
yeah, I'll show you. Hang on.
All right.
So that's the roast coffee.
Oh, Kraken, like the octopus.
Kraken,
Yeah,
as in the
gotcha.
octopus, yeah. So the roast coffee one is gorgeous, and the black
Okay.
cherry one is really nice as well. So yeah, so that's me tipple. But yeah, I mean, there's an awful lot of other stuff. I do like a nice single malt whiskey. Um, we've got Henry Bordeaux, which is a Patisse or a Pernod type drink. I think she's on about doing that tonight.
Wow. That's cool. I actually wrote down the Kraken one. I want to see if I can maybe order that. That looks pretty good.
Yeah, get
And
out
like,
for line. Amazon do it.
yeah, they'll get send a drone to my house or something like that. Haven't done that
Trouble
yet.
is, it's very Moorish. So once
Yeah.
once you open the bottle, you've got to
Mhm.
drink it, else it goes off.
Oh, really? All right.
Yeah, really.
Maybe like for save it for like a special occasion or something. Like, hey, once I open this, everyone's drinking it, right? This is I'll
Yeah,
get
yeah,
people around. Yeah, yeah. One of those.
yeah.
Man.
Taste it first, and then you might not want to share it.
Oh no, it's required and you have to drink it all at once. It's a
Yeah,
acquired taste and you have to drink it all.
yeah. It's not much of an acquired taste. It's very Moorish.
Oh, oh, come on.
Especially if you're a coffee drinker.
Yeah, I do love coffee. It looks pretty
You'll
good.
love this.
All right,
And
cool.
and it's only 40 proof.
Only 40, really? Only
Only 40, yeah.
only
I mean,
40.
you can do at least half a bottle before you're really pissed.
Oh man. That's I'm honestly, I know we're talking about it, but I'm actually a little tempted to try that. Well, we're gonna end the show there. Thank you so much, Tim, for being on. Thank you, listeners of 1,000 Crazy Questions, for tuning into this episode. Um, Tim, if you have anything, is there anything you want to plug or tell the listeners in general?
Well, I don't normally want to sort of blow my own trumpet or anything like that, but if you want to have a listen to some of my podcasts, you can find them on all the different podcast apps. And if you just look for Tim Heale 9, or if you want to watch some of the episodes, if you go onto YouTube, again, put in Tim Heale 9, um, you'll find it on there. And there's a whole ton of stuff. And all I ask, if you do watch it, give us the old thumbs up, stick a comment on. It's nice to get a comment on some of the stuff that I've produced. And yeah, it's out there for you to listen to. And thank you so much for having me. I've enjoyed myself.
I've enjoyed having you on. And listeners, I think I mentioned Podchaser at the beginning. Podchaser is just another one of those podcast finding places, but it's a good one for up and coming podcasts. I found I get addicted to podcasts using Podchaser, so go rate and follow on there. Yeah, that's it. Leave comments. Like Tim said, if you're on YouTube, leave those likes, leave those comments, and yeah, share this with your friends, share this with your enemies, and everyone stay safe. All right. Bye. As always, follow my music producer D800, D-800 at BeatStars or SoundCloud.com.